I just talk to y'all today?
Yes.
I just want to talk to y'all today.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Isaiah 9:6 says this: For unto us a child is born,
Yes.
unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful. Anybody know him to be wonderful?
Yes.
Counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. I said unto us. Somebody say unto us. I need you to get that in your system, because I came with a word to encourage you this morning that what you're looking for, you already have, because you can open up your mouth and you can say unto us. See, when you say unto us, you can't be selfish with this one. This is a kingdom cry. When you say unto us, this even spreads out beyond the kingdom, and it even grabs the world when you say unto us. Because it was unto us, we like to act like we was in the kingdom from the get-go. We were out in the world before unto us hit our system, hit our ears, and hit our minds to what we had to respond to what the word had said to us. So what I want you to receive this morning, somebody say unto us. Unto us. Unto us a child is born. Who would think that a child that was born in unconventional circumstances, in an unconventional manner, it was a phenomenon that we will never see again. It was a once in a lifetime experience that happened, and I think that we need to take time to be grateful for this thing, this phenomenon that's happened, because unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given. And see, what you got to realize is that the Bible is telling us that something is happening in the text. He's telling you that two things are happening simultaneously. He's saying that two things are happening simultaneously. He said that what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you something tangible so that you can reap something that is spiritual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a being who has two natures. I'm going to give you a being that's the child, and I'm going to give you my son. So what I'm going to do is give you this one person who's dual. Come on now. You know, he is the Lord of the double. And so what's happening here, if we look at the text and we realize that we're receiving two natures in one. Two things are happening simultaneously. I need somebody to pick that up. I'm going to unveil it in a little bit, but I need you to receive this right now, that two things are happening at one time. I know that you see one thing, but something else is happening at the same time. I want that you receive this word, because you see a child. But the text tells us, don't just look at the child, look at the son.
All right. Come on.
Somebody say two things are happening at once. So you have a human nature and you have a divine nature.
Right.
You have a human nature and you have a divine nature. So what you have here is a double feature.
Come on now, come on.
Somebody say unto us. So what you got to understand is what's happening in the double feature. The fancy way to say this would be a hypostatic union. See, what we're receiving here is a hypostatic union, which simply means that two things are happening at once, which means this one being is having two natures. He has a human nature and he has a divine nature. Yeah. Y'all with me so far? So a hypostatic union is taking place. Because what you got to understand that once we read this passage, that we're seeing prophetic manifestation. We're seeing prophetic manifestation. But we're also seeing prophetic expectation.
Come on.
The manifestation is happening because he's speaking. And speaking is a form. Speaking is a form of manifestation, because when God said, let there be light, something manifested. So speaking is a form of manifestation. So when you speak prophetically, something has already manifested. I wish that you would get that in your system right now. That when you speak prophetically, that something has happened already. And so the prophet is speaking here, and he's saying, I expect something to happen, because God has put this word into my system to tell you that something is about to happen. And so he says here, he says, unto us a child is born. You got to understand how far removed he is from this actually taking place. But he's speaking it because he knows that it's going to happen. See, you and I have the hindsight to sit in this position and say, it already came to pass. But I need you to receive some things that are going to be spoken into you not too long from now. You're going to receive a word that's going to sound so crazy because you don't see anything, and you will never see nothing like this again. I need you to get it in your system and receive that something is about to happen just because it was spoken. I said something is about to happen just because y'all got to come on now. I said something is about to happen just because it was spoken. And so we have prophetic expectation.
Come on now. Come on.
And we have prophetic manifestation. So we had a manifestation and the expectation happening simultaneously. But then what happens is we move on down the line, and it actually happens.
Come on, Pastor.
He's born. The child that someone prophesied about is born. The business that somebody taught.
All right, come on.
The healing that somebody taught.
Come on now.
The recovery that somebody, y'all gotta keep with me. I said somebody has said it, and now it's coming to pass. And so it says a child is born, and a son is giving. And so now if we go into the New Testament, we find that Mary is expecting.
Come on now. Come on.
And she's expecting to give birth to grace. No, I don't think that I said she's expecting, she's carrying grace. We glory carriers. She was a grace carrier. You understand what I'm telling you? She carried grace, and now even the sky is lighting up to let the people know that something is about to happen. And wise men find a signal, and they say, and it was more than three of them, but it was just three gifts. But we see that, and they say, we see a star. We say, because something is happening different. They had seen stars before. They knew how to navigate stars. But it was something about this star that they said, something's underneath that star. And I've got to find what's underneath that star, because something underneath can you imagine? Now I know you know some of the story, but can you imagine wise men coming to see
Come on now. Come on.
do not despise the days of small people. Never mind. So, because on the other side of that, there was somebody who was despising the days of small beginning. Because here we have this child, an infant at this point, who is being brought gifts by the Magi. But at the same time, there's a manhunt for him.
All right.
He's being brought gifts, but he's also being hunted. I don't know, y'all need to hear this. I know we're talking about Jesus, but listen, I said he's being brought gifts, but he's also being hunted.
All right.
See, we love to be brought gifts, especially some of us this time of year. We love to be brought gifts, but sometimes we got to understand that sometimes we're being brought gifts, and at the same time, we're being hunted. I said that two things are happening at the same time. Same time. And so here it is that we have this expectation again that becomes manifestation because birth takes place. And now we have in a body, the same body, human nature and divine nature.
Come on.
So we have human nature, divine nature. We got the hypostatic union, and so we got to understand everything about Christ tells us about his double features that bless our lives. Y'all with me so far? And so what I found was if he's manifestation and also expectation, then I find out that, you know, he was here and then he ascended, right? He was here, he came, he died, he rose again, and he ascended, right? We know that. I know that's a fast track, but we know this, right? Yeah. So here's the thing. When he came here to be an example or example. You'll understand what I'm saying? So he came here to show us how to do it. And then how good our God is that not only did he come here to show us how to do it, but when he ascended, he got back on the throne to be an intercessor. Never mind. I said not only were you shown the way, but after he finished showing you the perfect example, he also knew that he was going back to become a present intercessor. Anybody glad that they serve a present intercessor? When you don't know how to pray for yourself, he's speaking into the Father's ear saying, I've been. Well, because we don't have a high priest. I don't think that y'all understand. What I'm saying is that we have not a high priest who cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in every way tempted as we are. So here we go again. We have a king and a priest who's holy, set apart, and lets himself be touched by us. Oh my God. So we got the king and the priest. We have the divine nature and we have the human nature. We have expectation and we have manifestation. Somebody say unto us. Unto us we have the word incarnate. That means that the word became flesh and dwelt among us. So again, we see his humanity and we see his divinity because word came and dwelt among us. I said the word came to dwell among us. Not only did he say, I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to put the word in a body. I think that you need to hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that he put word in a body. Nope, you got to get that because y'all ain't looking at me yet. I said he put word in a body. So you think that you cannot be animated with the same thing that Christ was animated in. Because what happened is that God put a word in a body that could do the word that was in the same body. I'm telling you that because of what Christ did, because of his birth, he showed us that if God puts a word in your body, you can do exactly what his word says right in your body. You want your flesh to be better, but he says, I can use your flesh because I sent my son in sinful flesh, but yet he didn't sin.
Come on. Jesus, have mercy. Have mercy.
You don't have to sin. Sin is a choice. Sin is a choice. Sin is a choice that the king and the priest had. Sin is a choice that the child and the son had. Y'all with me so far? So the king and the priest, the word that became flesh and dwelt among us. And then here's where it starts getting really good to me. We have the unconventional king. Somebody say the unconventional king. Let me tell you how unconventional this king was. Not only is he the king, but he's the king of kings. And so this is how unconventional the king of kings is. The unconventional king of kings comes in the form to be a servant. He comes in the form of sinful flesh. He comes in the form of man to be a servant's servant. See, we always say King of Kings, Lord of Lords, but he's also the servant of servants. Because when he came, he told his disciples very plainly, he said, I did not come to be ministered unto. You can't tell some of these preachers that nowadays. They'll get upset. I mean, you ain't even the Savior. You got to have everybody serving you, but I believe that right where it is. I ain't come for all that today. But what I'm saying is that when he came and he said, look, I didn't come to be ministered unto. I came to minister. I don't even have a place to lay my head, but I came to minister. When I was born, they put me in something that animals drink out of, but I kicked them out.
Come on, Pastor. Come on.
I came off the throne to sit in a carpenter's chair. Never mind. I said I came off the throne to sit in a carpenter's chair. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So we have an unconventional King of Kings who chooses to be a servant. I was talking with my wife and she was discussing something that she had read in a devotional, and the devotional said something to this effect, that particular duty was the duty that you would give to the lowest servant. So either when you entered the room, because you got to understand that they didn't have all these nice carpets and things like this, they would come out of dusty places and they would have dust all over their feet, and what they would do is either you would wash your own feet, you would get the dust off your own feet, or if you went to the house of somebody who was wealthy, then they would have a servant, and they wouldn't just pick any servant, they wouldn't pick their favorite servant, they would pick their lowest servant, and the lowest servant would wash the feet of the guests. You at somebody else's house, and the servant, the lowest servant is washing your feet. And what most probably happened is that people will look at that person with disdain and say, look how low you are that you have to wash my feet. I don't think that you understand what I'm saying. Normally anybody else in this position will be looked at with disdain and say, look how low you are. Not only are you a servant, you're a lowest servant. You're the lowest servant. You had to be the lowest servant for them to send you over here to wash my feet. And I've been walking miles and I got dust all over my feet. I got corns and balls and my feet don't smell too good. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. You got to put your face near my stinking feet. Never mind.
Come on.
They ain't have no Dr. Scholl's.
All right.
No.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
And so, Jesus, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah of all the world, shows his disciples just how low he will go. Because he said, I did not come to be ministered unto. I came to minister. And he says, I will show you how low I'm willing to go. That not only will I wash the feet of my disciples, but I'll also wash the feet of my betrayer. I don't think that you understand what I'm telling you. Not only will I wash the feet of my disciples, it's real. You will consider it an honor if you could wash the feet of the apostles, but they're just disciples right now. But you know, you'll be okay, I'll wash the feet of the apostles because you really want them to talk about you in the sermon. But how humble you are. And you know what I'm saying? But he says, not only will I wash the feet of those who will become apostles, but I'm also going to wash the feet of the one who's going to betray me. How humble is a Savior to come from glory and say, I'll wash the feet of the very person who's going to betray me. You need to understand what kind of God that you serve. A God who sits up high, but will get low enough to wash your nasty feet. You think where you come from is too nasty to get into the church. But God says, I don't care where you come from. I don't care where your feet been. I really doesn't matter where your feet are going. But if you would sit down at this table, come on. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. All you have to do, I'm not asking you to do anything. Do you understand when you come to the house of God, somebody say unto us. Somebody shout unto us. One more time, say unto us. When you come to the house of God, God is saying, sit down somewhere. And if you sit down somewhere, let me show you what I'll do for you. I will wash everything that you came from off of you. Some anywhere that you came from. Unto us. Unto us. God so loved the world that he gave. See, we got things mixed up right now.
Come on now.
We think that showing love is giving gifts that won't even be dealt with 2 weeks from them being opened. You go buy somebody a gift.
Yes, sir.
Unless it's electronic or something like that. 2 weeks later, they don't even know where it is.
Thank you, sir.
They ripped the box open. They tore it everywhere. They didn't even clean up after they yelling at me.
Yes, sir.
I said they ripped the box open. Couldn't wait to get from under that tree. Never mind. They couldn't wait to get from up under that tree. And to, come on now here. They couldn't wait to get the gift that had came from under that tree. You understand what I'm saying? For us it's the blood, but for them it's a whole other thing. But anyway, so they were trying to snatch things from underneath and they ripped it open. They didn't even care how it was prepared. They didn't care that some of us paid to have it wrapped.
Come on now. Come on.
They didn't care that some of us wrapped it ourselves.
Thank you. Thank you.
They don't care. They just want what's inside.
That's right. That's right.
And when they find what's inside, they're excited at first. Isn't that how we work?
Yes, sir.
And we celebrate at first. Look what I got. Is that what you did with your salvation?
All right now.
Look what I got.
Look out.
And then 2 weeks later, nobody can find it.
Look out.
I said, look what I got. And now we can't find any trace of it. Where is it? I lost it.
Come on. Come on, Pastor. Jesus.
And even when they give you something fancy, you get it, you hold it for a couple months, but as soon as the newest thing comes out,
All right.
this is how we act in the church sometimes. I'm trying to be encouraging, but I got to tell you how it is. As soon as the new doctrine comes out, all of a sudden our ears get real twitchy. And the word that was really saving our life doesn't seem so good anymore because it's not telling us the things that we want. It's telling us the things that we need.
Come on, Pastor. Come on now.
What if I told you that God sent me today to say, I'm not looking for a gift. I'm not looking to give you a gift this season. I'm looking for your sacrifice. What would happen if I told you? There'll be no gift giving this season, but it'll be a sacrifice. Most people would shut it down. They would unplug the lights. They would take down their decorations. They would burn their trees. They put it out there on the curb because that's what they do. They put a tree on the curb. Some of y'all will catch that real quick. I said, because after it's over, the tree goes on the curb. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying? I said, after it's over, after all this celebration, we put the tree, we kick the tree to the curb. And that's what some of us have done with the cross. We kick the cross to the curb. Because now we got what's inside of it, and we got bored with it, so we want to go chase other stuff. I said it in your face, I'm looking at you right now. Because this don't excite you no more. This ain't the thing that gets your blood flowing no more. This don't bless you no more. You know why it don't bless you no more? It doesn't bless you anymore because it does not suit your sentimentality. It doesn't bless you anymore. It doesn't bless you anymore because it doesn't gratify you. Because that's what the church seems like it's after. I tried to come on. I tried. But sometimes what you really want from God, we don't really want a blessing. I want myself to be gratified.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad
Yes, sir.
that the king, the child and the son from Nazareth doesn't act like Saint Nick. Because they sing songs about Saint Nick and they say, you better not you better not pout. You better not cry. Huh? I'm telling you why, because he's coming to, so in other words, you can't get anything if you've been pouting.
All right.
But see, I serve a God that had, he said, while we were yet sinners. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you, you can do all that stuff, and God still said, you know what? For I so love the world. He didn't say he loved of the kingdom. He said he loved them. They say joy to the world, but I don't think they really understand what they're saying. They say it's a wonderful life, but you got to understand that his name is called Wonderful. But what happens after the wonderful life? We kick the tree to the curb because we don't want that no more, because that's too suffering. That's too bloody. I don't want bloody. I want little baby Jesus. I want baby Jesus that I can go like this with, and I can put him back in his box when I'm done playing with him. That's why I love
Jesus.
little 6 pound, 7 ounce baby Jesus.
All right now.
Some of y'all will catch that.
Come on.
6 is the number of man, 7 is the number of completion. I don't know how to stumble about it, but it was just. But we like little 6 pound, 7 ounce baby Jesus that we can rock to sleep, but he don't slumber nor sleep. But we want him to sleep because, you know, when he's sleeping, then we can go do what we want to do. You wait till the baby go to sleep, you don't do what you want to do. Baby, something you can't do what you want to do. You put the baby to sleep, so you can say, here, baby, go on down to sleep now, so I can do what I want to do. Yeah. I love the baby Jesus. Yes, you love the baby Jesus. You don't like grown man Jesus, because grown man Jesus will come up in your church and start flipping tables and say, this little baby Jesus they keep talking about, because the Jesus that I know will take his time and start talking. Y'all got to give me a little liberty here. Jesus that I know, Yeshua that I know, that he'll go in the background and he'll be like, boy, he'll start talking to himself. Jesus. He'll be like, God, Father, help me here. And then the God that I know will start breaking stuff. Y'all ain't got to hit me. He'll start breaking stuff. He'll be sitting there like, oh my God, let me just braid this thing real quick. He will braid a whip. He will braid a whip and he'll be like, you know what, I'm going to take my time because I don't want to lose it all the way. Because if I lose it all the way, everybody in this temple going to be dead. So I'm going to take my time and make this whip. And you understand what I'm saying? I'm about to whip my church back into shape. And I'm sorry that I got to come to you on a Christmas morning and say, God is saying enough. A gift. You get so happy because you want to give, and you can't wait to break your gift open. Come on. But some of us have buried our gifts, and we've forgotten the gifts. That how is it that you know how to give your children good gifts? How is it that you know how to give your children good gifts? But when the Father gives you a good gift, you say, I'm not ready to use it. It's not doing what I wanted to do. You know what happens when a child gets a toy and they don't know what to do with it. They start trying to break it. And some of us get frustrated because the gift don't work like we thought it was going to. The gift don't do what we wanted to do. We wanted to give to people, but he said, I can't give to something. Everything. Somebody say everything. God so loved the world that he, check this out. Check out the exponential factor of Christ.
Come on, sir.
That the giver of life gave life.
Yes, sir.
The giver of life was given to give life. Let me say that one more time. The giver of life was given to give life. And he was given to give life so that we could give him our life. But here's the thing, if we give him our life, then he gives us life eternal.
Right now.
So the giver of life, the one who gave you breath in the first place, gave himself for you.
All right.
Somebody say unto us.
Unto us.
My God.
The giver, I say the giver of life gave himself to us, then gave his life for us, so we can give our life to him. That sounds like an unfair exchange. I bet you right now if somebody bought you 5 gifts, they're expecting 5 gifts back. He said, all I want from you, I gave you life in the first place, and then I gave you life in the first place. Never mind. I said I'm doing 2 things at never mind. I'm doing 2 things at the same time. And so, and when he gives the gift to us, the giver of life gives life to us, so that life can give life for us. And then when the giver of life, who was given to give us life, gives life for us, then he says simply, give me your life.
Come on.
Here's the thing, when he asks for your life, he said, I do not care where you come from.
Come on.
Because when you came to me, you were filthy. You were nasty.
That's true.
You were dirty.
Yes, sir.
You were foul. You were off.
Yes, sir.
But you know what I did? I didn't rip you open. I washed your feet.
Thank Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
You know what happened?
Hallelujah.
When we finally received our gift,
Hallelujah.
we ripped him open.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
The first time we received our gift, we tried to kill him.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Because he wasn't going to work the way that we thought he was going to work. The king said, hold on, this ain't going to work the way I want it to work. He thought he was going to fool the wise men. The wise men were like, we ain't telling you nothing, Doc. We see you coming from a mile away. And this ain't going to work. How you think it's going to work? Oh, you know and how he got what he said. He said, oh, come on. When y'all find a child, I don't paraphrase it. Give me a little latitude. When y'all find a child, why don't y'all tell me so I can come and worship him?
Yeah, right. Come on.
Are you coming to worship? Or are you coming with premeditated murder on your mind?
True.
What did you come for?
That's right.
Some of us said, when I come, I want what he has for me. The next time you get that thought in your head and you say, I want what he has for me. I'm not telling you that this is a wicked thought, but every time that you think, I came for what he has for me, somebody say unto us. Unto us. Child.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Son is given. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever, say whosoever. I said he loved the world and then he said whosoever. Whosoever believe in him will not perish, but have life eternal. Everlasting life. Everlasting life. Great gifts warrant great gratitude.
All right now. Amen.
Great gifts
Yes, sir.
warrant great
Great.
gratitude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does my gratitude match the season that I'm in?
Come on now, Pastor. Come on.
That's good.
Think about it.
Does my gratitude match the season that I'm in? You saying when everything's falling apart, breathe in, breathe out. That was your gift.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
But you've gotten upset with your own breath.
Lord God Almighty.
Oh, it's not because it's foul. Either you brush your teeth.
Thank you, Pastor.
Some of y'all. But we're upset because we're not where we expect to be, because we haven't remembered unto us. I want you to remember something. Somebody shout unto us. That God so loved the world that He gave.
Yes, He did. Yes, He did.
He gave. You double. He gave you double.
Yes, sir.
He said every time something is happening, something else is happening simultaneously. When you think you're being defeated, God is really preparing you for a blessing.
All right. All right.
Amen. Hallelujah.
When you're going through a struggle, God is really preparing you to be a testimony. I told you a couple weeks ago, you're in your testimony right now. And some of our testimonies don't sound good because we don't see the end. But I told you that when you receive the child and the son that you're receiving simultaneously, manifestation and expectation. I tell you, the next time that you come, the next time you come before the presence of God, that you already say something is about to happen because He said so.
He said it.
Hallelujah, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
He said it.
God is not a man. Tell you about that.
That's right.
Hold on. God is not a man. Let me try this one more time. God is not a man that He would lie, nor the Son of Man that He would repent. God is not a man that He would lie, but God was a man. Nor the Son of Man that He would repent. If He spoke it, will He not make it good? If He said it, will He not bring it to pass?
Come on now.
Huh?
All right.
You have the child and you have the son. More appropriately, you have the man and the son. He had to come in the form of a child so he could grow to be a man.
Come on now.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Don't receive him early on and want to put him away.
All right. Yes.
Don't wait for him. Don't wait for him to grow up in you just to rip him apart.
Come on.
I want to talk to the babies and the folks who think they grown.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Because the world did the same thing to them at both times. The first time they tried to kill him and they couldn't even find him. The next time they tried to kill him, they thought they killed him. They thought they killed him. But he said, I know that this is normally a message about the birth of Christ, but I want to tell you that the gift was unwrapped on the tree. And they wrapped him. They didn't put him in a box. They put him in a tomb. But the tomb couldn't hold him.
Hallelujah.
Isn't it something that an angel had to come down? I know what time of year it is. I'm perfectly aware. Isn't it something that an angel had to come down and move a stone to find him? No. I'm crazy enough to think that Jesus was so powerful, so magnificent, that either one, he walked through the wall, because we know he can do that, or he moved the stone and put it back himself, with the soldier standing right there. What y'all gonna do? Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
We serve a great God.
Great.
We do.
Well, I think that we've misplaced it because, again, we want to receive a gift in a time that we recognize his birth. When he was born, he was brought gifts by the wise men. I'm going to challenge you in this season that if you consider yourself wise, that instead of having your hand out to receive the gift, that you bring your gift to the king. What do you have for him? And here's the interesting thing. All he wants is what he gave you.
Amen.
All he wants is what he gave you first. Never mind. All I've got to do is give him. I don't even have to be creative. I ain't got to find out. I ain't got to study. I ain't got to get on Facebook. I ain't got to sweat bees, and I ain't got to get stressed out. I don't have to go into debt.
All right. Amen.
All I have to do is give him me.
All right.
You know why I can give him me? Somebody say unto us.
Unto us.
Two things are happening at the same time. You're receiving right now human nature.
Yeah.
Because it's human nature to want things.
Yeah.
Right now you're also receiving divine nature. Because the word is saying you've received already.
Yes, we have.
Somebody say, I've received already.
I've received already.
Well, I didn't tell you not to be happy about the little stuff you get. Go ahead and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're opening gifts this season, I want you to open that gift with care.
Amen.
If you're opening gifts this season, I ain't Pat, you do what you need. If you're opening gifts in this season, you make sure that you do so with care. And you make sure that whoever gave you that gift, you tell them thank you. Because great gifts warrant great gratitude. Open up your mouth and bless God that his word said unto us. A child is born unto us. A son is given.
Hallelujah.
I gave you an example and I gave you an intercessor
All right.
at the same time. I gave you a king and I gave you a priest at the same time.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I gave you life and opportunity at the same. Now I don't think that you understand. I gave you life and opportunity at the same time. I gave you both the giver and the gift. At the same time. At the same time. At the same time. Unto us. Unto us. Unto us tells me that no matter who you are, saved or unsaved, that if you're breathing right now, you've got an opportunity.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Somebody say unto us. Unto us. Yeah, this is a salvation message. I said you got to realize that while we were yet sinners, he understood that he was going to put him on the tree.
All right.
Somebody say unto us. It says, so God, the scripture known the world over, so God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten what? Son. That whosoever believe in him should not perish but have. So I told you that he gave him to the world. He gave it to the world so that the world would have an opportunity to become kingdom.
Yes. Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
He gave it to the world, and he gave it to whosoever. Whosoever is listening to this message, listen, understand this, that when you receive salvation, you're receiving two things simultaneously. Because your human nature will be changed. You will still be the flesh. But you'll be born. Y'all ain't hearing me. I said you'll be born again. So even your human nature won't bother you as much as it used to. But when it begins to flare up on you, don't receive the scripture that says the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. Any other way with this, let the flesh be weak then. and let your spirit be willing.
Yeah.
Don't look at that scripture the wrong way. My flesh is weak, but my spirit is willing. I serve a God who sat in a fleshly body and said, not my flesh, but my divinity. Oh, you heard it like this, not my will, but thine be done. That's the way that you heard it. See the way that they say, not my human nature, but my divine nature. So the next time you get ready to say no to God, say not my human nature, but my divine nature. Say not my human nature, but my divine nature. Somebody shout out to us!